All right, welcome to Tasmanian Rugby Union. It's juniors under 17s today before our first grade finals, and we've got a repeat of the last time we showed you the under 17s. It's Taroona versus the boys from Hutchins. You can see down just coming out of their rooms. Here's our Hutchins squad. There's a couple of outs, sadly, for those guys. Josh Tong, I think there is out. James Richards, and on the bench, Toby Zockling. So they're a little bit short, but they've got a bit of support out there. You'll see the blue and white socks of a couple of the Taroona players giving a hand. I think that's who have we got out there? Toby Longman in the pink boots, and Jacob Archer for Taroona giving a hand. So there'll be a bit of fun and games, I'm sure, between the boys from Taroona and those guys. But we're looking forward to a great game. I've got some support on the commentary today from Mike Blomfield. Hi, Mike. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Deon. Beautiful day here at in Hobart.
Absolutely. Sun's shining. There's only a couple of clouds a long way away, and of course those perennial ones that sit on the mountain all the time. But it's beautiful day. You can see the shadows out there are strong and long with this low sun that we get at this time of year. But it's going to be a great game. Conditions are perfect for running rugby. And as we just take a look out here, it's going to be Brancher for Taroona in the number 10 there with the kick-off. And Hutchins will move back on the left of the screen. And we've even got a live real-life scoreboard on the other side today too. So thanks, I think, who is that out there? It's Tom, isn't it? Tom running the scoreboard for us. Thanks, Tom. Wilkinson. Just waiting last minute. Referee checking numbers, checking teams are ready. And we're away. So the kick is a really short one. Goes straight over the head in the end of Crean. And I think it goes backwards and well cleaned up there by Hutchins in the end. So fortunate there. And they set the first ruck. Crean comes in after dropping that one and picks it up and feeds it out. And Hutchins just taking their time there. Dangdej in the halfback position. Gives it off to Sanderson. He runs in, and we've got some players coming off their feet there. No, coming in on the side, not rolling away. Everything wrong. So good settling start there for Hutchins, and a bit of ill discipline from Taroona. And Charlie Bowman, who was by far Hutchins' best player last time these two teams met, boots that ball down and puts his team into a great position with an attacking line out. Be interesting to see. They'll go, I imagine, a pretty conservative line out throw here. Not sure who they're lifting. Sanderson in there. He's about 6'4", 6'5", Sanderson in the number 5. So it'll be should be a good target for O'Brien with the throw. And they go the cunning one. And off they go. Oh, what a hit there. Who made that tackle? Hetherington smashed backwards in that tackle. I think it was Dabari who came in, and now the ball's been turned over. Brancher throws it out, and he's got Connor, I think, on his left there. But not good enough at the breakdown, holding on. So nice pressure there, and I reckon that's Bowman. He's always good over. Gee, there's a loud noise coming from some low-flying plane. Or is it motorbikes? Oh yeah, big squad of Harleys going past. I can't hear anything. What do you reckon of that tackle, Mike? It was pretty punishing.
It was quite devastating. That was nice slow driving tackle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Textbook.
Absolutely, shoulder height down, hit around sort of the waist height. And with the size of, I'm pretty sure it was Dabari, the size of Saul going through there. So I say to Hutchins, you better watch out for the Saul train. So no one wants that ball. Been knocked on. I think that in the end there, yeah. Angus Malby in the number 18 just wasn't quite committed to diving on that ball, wasn't sure what to do, and ends up knocking it on. And we'll have a scrum. First scrum of the day. Will they be contested is always the first question. I hope so.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we see a contest.
And no, sadly. All right, so Hutchins will win this ball. Bowman goes early, which is not okay on an uncontested scrum. On any scrum, actually. Nice run. Oh, great offload there from Fiedler in the contact. And Bowman wrapping, causing trouble. And another penalty against Taroona. So discipline's really a problem at the breakdown for the Blues. And Hutchins get another go. I don't know, Bowman might look to the posts. And they're going for a scrum with those uncontested ones. I'd like to see a rule or a law around that when you've forced uncontested scrums, that opting for a scrum from a penalty I don't think should be okay. I think you need to make use of that penalty in a better way. It's one of those just disappointing parts of the game, I think.
Yeah, it's very much a technical sort of loophole that, yeah, we're guaranteed to win the ball from this. It's not a contest. And I think you're 100% right there, Deon. Here they go.
And Archer goes around, gives the ball to Bowman, who can't gather it, and it's been knocked on. But Taroona have regathered that one. Now they'll look to Debari, and he'll burst through the first tackle, as always. But taken in a nice one there by number 1 there, Ellis Nunn for Hutchins. And that kick is a nice long one, and it's going to stay in field. But, gee, it's gone a long way. Bowman gets back, can't get there. His fullback tries to gather it. And Bowman, I think, has knocked that one on the ground there. He's tried the old put the ball down and get back to his feet quickly, but in doing so has rolled it forward. So excellent chasing pressure there from Charlie Cosgrove in the 15 for Taroona. That's a big turnaround after that penalty that Hutchins had just a minute ago. And now Taroona have the ball 30 metres out in an attacking position with their first real opportunity to get their hands on the ball.
Yeah, Grant's just having a word to them before they set it.
Just need to make sure off these uncontested scrums here that if your fly half doesn't take off early and put himself offside before the ball comes out. Now Nordstrom at the back there picks it up. Just running across field here. Connor straightens up, and Jack Berry in a nice hole. Good combination there between Connor and Berry. Good to see Jack Berry out on the field. We haven't had a lot of him. And Ollie Branch snipes one through. Defenders not paying attention to him at halfback, and they're going to have to because he loves that one. And easy as you like try there. Nice run there from Berry. See it on the replay. Just watch Brancher. He looks up. No one's looking at him. Dangdej got himself caught offside, so I think he was just got sort of dragged a little bit out of that ruck and was offside, and Brancher's too experienced and he saw that gap. All he needed was a metre and he was through. So nice work from Brancher to put some points on the board on Taroona's first attacking opportunity.
Yeah, if we go back to that penalty where it all started from up here, yeah, it's a shame that placing the ball, scrum, sorry, where you place the ball on the ground and stand up, that's through. Yeah, it's just a matter of which way you're facing a lot of the time, you know, because technically you're trying to release that ball and play it again.
Yeah, that's right. And look, you know, Charlie Bowman's a good player, and it's actually very positive rugby from him there. You know, he wasn't trying to slow that ball down at all. He was trying to get out of there and make something out of that defensive situation. And just sadly for him, as he's hit that ball on the ground, it's rolled forward out of his hand. So it's always a tricky one. You need to make sure that you place it dead on the ground as you stand up, so there's no movement. So good start in the end after five and a half minutes of Hutchins really being on top. Taroona turned that around very quickly. And again, Brancher too with that nice kick. He's got a raking kick on him. A nice little short kick there, well spotted. And well picked up by Nordstrom. Tackled nicely by his colleague or teammate in Archer. Don't want to let Nordstrom get it. Oh, Saul Dabari, look at him, makes 15 metres, gets through the first tackle again, and eventually they drag him down. Brancher now pushes it out. Just a bit of a stop there, but Leopard with the run. Brancher directing here. Savoury with the ball this time. Good, solid hit on him from Fiedler. It's a big lad, Fiedler, in that number 12. Cosgrove gets through the first tackle and looks back in field, steps another one. Makes a few metres in contact too, so good solid running by the fullback. Taroona have got big numbers out wide here. They need to call that out quickly. And Hutchins haven't really covered out wide. I can see Bowman out there directing traffic though. Dabari now has another run. Archer gets him around the leg, make sure he doesn't go any further. Savoury without any support here. He needs to look for it. They finally get there. So well held up, but he's been penalised because they couldn't defend. The support players couldn't get to him quickly enough. He was so far out on his own. And again, Charlie Bowman in amongst that, causing havoc at the breakdown. Goes the kick, and he hasn't made touch on this one. Brancher gets back and fields it. And nice little draw and feed there to Cosgrove down on the right. And I don't know, that ball was out of the ruck there. Just laid back, but put it back a long way. And Hutchins just ducked around, picked it up on the outside, but ended up running out. Taroona just being told to hurry up there, going back to talk about their line-out strategy. And they'll come up and meet the line. Some more Harleys go through. Something happening today.
Yep, I think it's called No Rain.
That's right, beautiful winter's day. And Taroona win that line out. Oh, ball goes behind, probably forward. Lucky to get away with that. And Cosgrove ducks around the first tackle. He's got a nice step. He's had a few good runs today already. Just needs to push that ball back. Brancher gets Nordstrom, and he's out on his own too with no one there. And Bowman's all over him, and he'll earn another penalty, Bowman. Oh, somehow.
Give him for 13. Oh, he's rolling now.
Yeah,
13.
definitely. Really didn't roll, did he? Needed to make a much better effort than that. Savoury now takes that ball in. And the ball comes
Brancher's
out.
doing a fantastic job of directing everyone there.
Oh, look at the run through too. Nice run. You're right. He's just making a really solid platform for his team and ensuring that everyone knows what's going on. That was a great run from Summerfield there, and Nordstrom's close to the line and goes over. So yeah, you're right, Mike. It's great to see your halfback, even though he's wearing a 10, directing traffic very clearly. Just come in here and see Nordstrom picks this one up. And again, just the defence not quite up to it. Like to see those defenders on the fringes there on the pillar and the post getting their body height down a bit lower so that they're ready to tackle rather than standing up straight and waiting to see what happens. Just, substitution for Taroona as well. Leopard coming off, and I think he's been replaced by, I'm not sure who. Jack Bremner, possibly. Brancher now with the kick. See him out here practicing this a fair bit before games, or particularly on the Tuesdays and Thursdays. Takes his time. Beautiful solid strike. Nice low kick. Really gets onto it though, and straight over the post. And Taroona now up to a 14-0 lead. Again, wants that kick. Didn't quite strike it totally cleanly. See the ball the sideways, really big curve on that one. but he's a good kick.
Could be practicing his golf draws.
That's right. Just hooking around that dog leg to the left.
Yes.
All right, Bowman, who's been very solid already for Hutchins. Come with the kick. He had a nice little low, short one that got over that front line of defenders, and this one, he goes low again. Savoury gets behind it and picks it up and decides on his running line and taking in a nice tackle by his teammate as well. So good tackle out there by Longman for Hutchins. And Dabari again causing headaches for Hutchins tacklers. And in the end taken low, nicely low actually by Dangdej in that situation. Great work Bowman there on Brancher. Bowman's decided he's going to come in and create some havoc around the tackle too. But Brancher straight back into it. Featherstone with his first opportunity to get his hands on the ball though, and I think he was a bit overexcited. He loves to get his hands on the ball, and he's a great offload. Is the guy they call Pumba, but he drops that one, snatching at it, and turns it over. So Hutchins attacking scrum. We've seen Bowman go blind a couple of times off a scrum and off the ruck. He likes having Jacob Archer, who's an experienced player, at number 8 for his team. Slow scrum set. What do you reckon the referee's telling him there, Mike?
I wouldn't have a clue. You want me to make something up? I think that's what we're hoping for.
Well, it's a quick flick there from Bowman, and he wraps around. But the defence didn't get up very quickly, and they've turned it over in the end. So attempted sort of wrap one manoeuvre there, but happened way too far behind the gain line, and Bowman didn't get that ball moving forward. And we've just seen a bit of a head knock down there to Hutchins player. Is that Nunn who's on the ground? He got his head on the wrong side of someone's shin. He's just saying he's all right though.
No, we go back to what the referee could have been saying. You know, he could well have been just complimenting them on their compliance, or their improvement in compliance, or something like that sort of thing. It's quite useful as a referee when you've got that downtime to give some positive reinforcement, or for that case, some positive, constructive feedback as to how they can help him a bit more too.
Absolutely, yep. And at this level, there's still a lot of learning that's going on, and it's very handy, for a referee to be giving advice and somewhat coaching at that point. I guess given that the scrums are uncontested, there's not a lot going on there, so he doesn't have to manage the testosterone in those 6 beasts in the front rows, but still being able to provide them with some technical advice or making sure that they're actually doing things technically correct is important.
True, he could well have been saying, make sure you break away, stay bound, because that is part and parcel of it. You just can't, the back rowers can't hang off.
Yeah, and Berry goes down, and no support with him. And guess who pilfers that one? Charlie Bowman. So Taroona have got some work to do at the breakdown. They're getting there in numbers at that time, but no one cleaned Bowman out. And he hasn't found touch again, unfortunately. And we'll see another run back there from, who's that running down there in the number 9? Sam Cosgrove. Good pick up there from Byrne, who goes through. And again, Bowman's there. He's cleaned out nicely this time by Featherstone, who sends him off and says, yeah, get out of here. Quick ball this time, and Dabari will hit a nice line and taken down. Couldn't hang on to him, but taken to ground by Archer. No one's there. 5 coming around offside here. Well offside there was Sanderson. He never got back onside and dishes the ball out wide. And Henry Pitt taken over the sideline in a duo of tacklers from Taroona. Sanderson thought that ball was out, and he came up offside and realised he wasn't allowed to touch it. And then the the counter ruck was pretty good by Hutchins, but he's still staying offside before he picked that ball up. So he just needed to get back onside really to legally do that, but got away with it. Featherstone with the throw, and he's going to go to Savoury at the front. Misses him, but falls into the hands of Summerfield, who takes it forward. Tabari. Sanderson gets up quickly there and does hang on to Tabari, which is good work. And Bowman again gets all over that ball, and he's going to win it. He's got to release it now. I don't know how they've allowed Bowman to hang on to that. He's put it down, which was the right thing to do. And Nordstrom, passive run there. You realise he didn't want to get too far away. Sanderson creeping up offside again at that ruck. And Tabari with a big run.
Get rid of him.
And they're all over him again this time too. So great work at the breakdown. Again, the Taroona ruck is very passive. Very passive. Just in that sort of training drill strategy where they're going in and they're not driving the player off the ball, they're just meeting at the ball and standing there creating a competition. But yeah, Hutchins have got a couple of good players there. I'm trying to see who that was who stole that one. I think it's Eddington possibly who came out with that ball. But yeah, some advice needed to happen. He's just a bit of an injury down there. Not sure what we're looking at. Leg being lifted up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Noah. Jacob.
Turn just with a couple of substitutions.
Top jerseys for these two.
So couple of changes on the Hutchins side, with Archer and Longman coming back on and putting some blue jerseys on and being replaced by another couple of Taroona players. Noah Whitney and trying to see who that is. Might be Ashby, I think, for Taroona. So we're all back on our feet here. Just taking a check there. Ellis Nunn's going to come and have a rest. I think he copped that head knock a little bit earlier, and he's being just brought to the bench there, maybe because of that, just to make sure that he's all okay. It's a shame. He'd made a few good tackles, had Nunn, so hopefully he's okay. And we'll come back for the penalty after that. Just with the substitution, with the new players coming on for Taroona, Bowman's just checking what positions they're coming into, with Nunn coming off the field as well. They've got an empty spot here and there, so just need to check where Whitney and Ashby, I think, are going to play. And Bowman now with the kick. He's missed touch a couple of times, and he has again. So Nordstrom with a nice overhead mark there. And he runs into tackle and barges through, but great tackle there from Dangdees, the halfback, to get down. And yet again, Taroona meet at the breakdown, but fail to drive through. So, and it was Eddington again. So second time in a row, he gets over the ball and they don't drive him off. So a bit of work for Taroona to do there.
Yes, I think he got himself isolated, and the Hutchins boys were on him quick as a flash before that support got there to drive him out.
Yep, and they're very clearly focused on that. So it's something that Taroona need to adapt. They need to make sure that when they're hitting the ball up, that they're not getting themselves isolated and running too far away from their support. And unfortunately there, the attempted short line out. I don't think it went 5, but Crean wasn't able to catch it anyway. And we'll end up having probably a scrum, I'd say. Taroona will opt for the scrum. And we'll go out to the 15-metre line and have another one of those. So disappointment there for Hutchins, looking for that short line-out throw to the front. But the uncontested scrum will give the ball straight over to Taroona, and we'll see Jack Connor, who's playing the fly half position, just coming on the right of your screen now. He's going to...
What's great is you're watching the Taroona side set themselves, and they're doing all the right things as though it's a real-life contested scrum. They're going right through the proper binding sequence and everything, which is fantastic.
Always, I imagine, disappointing for these front rowers to not get to have that contest. It's such a unique part of our game. Ball goes to Connor. He comes around to the blind. He's looking for a pass and just decides no one comes for him. And he thought, oh, I'm going to pass it to Nordstrom, but Nordstrom wasn't on and there was no defence. So a bit confusing there. Connor, in the end, decided to go himself, which is what he probably should have done in the first place. And a great bustling run up the middle there from Byrne. He's had a couple of good runs. And guess who? The Soul Train, and taking in another really good tackle under there. And that's Eddington, I think, too. No, that time it was Hetherington, another one of the Tins. Ball comes out now to Jack Berry, runs into contact, and support gets there. Very low support from Cosgrove. And an intercept. Great, well read out there by the fullback, I think. And Alex Smart, he's gone short, though. He hasn't made it to the line, and it's been stolen. And I'm not sure why we're blowing that up. We're going to have a scrum, but oh, such a shame there.
He scored over the 5 metre line and let it go, so it's knock on.
Yeah, but he's put the ball down, and it was stolen in the end. And they've heard a whistle, but the ball's going to be Taroona's. So, oh, such a disappointment.
Actually, looking at the replay there, I don't think it was actually knocked on, because he was facing.
Still had his hand on the
he was facing backwards with it too, sort of thing. So
I think it was just the confusion, the confusion whistle. I'm not sure who that was actually. Who was the player who made that intercept? It wasn't Smart, because he's wearing the headgear out the back there. But it was really well read and really well taken. And the boot comes from Cosgrove and gets Taroona out of there. So bit of luck there with. I'm
pretty sure that's a mistake he's never ever going to make again, scoring a try over the 5 metre line.
Yes.
I know I never made that mistake again when it first came in, the 5 metre line.
Yep, always an embarrassing one, unfortunately. He might have been the outside centre who's playing out there, Ben Duffy. Anyway, unfortunate, but that's rugby, and you're right. It's a once-in-a-lifetime mistake. And Hutchins win that line out. Didn't look very straight, though, but looks okay in the end. Good drive from Taroona. Can Hutchins get that ball back out of this maul or not? Just a technical penalty there. Jack Bremner, I don't think ever retired 10 metres from that line out. It was a bit of confusion. He wasn't sure what to do, and then he's come up as that line out's moved off the line and just been penalised, even though it was nowhere near the ball.
Ben, swap over with Henry.
Yeah, I think when we look at that penalty, is essentially, you know, if you're up inside the 10, you're closing out options available to the team, essentially, when you look at it from that refereeing perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lucky one for Hutchins, really, because they'd lost that ball in that maul. So, but, you know, laws are laws, and it was definitely correct, because we saw Bremner in that at the start of the line out, not getting back. Now Hutchins go the blind off the back of the scrum, and they've lost it forward. So Savoury will pick that one up, and Taroona will have an opportunity here. Brancher decides to kick it, and he's gone out. He would have liked that one to stay in, I think, in the end. There was, not that there was anyone chasing, but not a bad kick. But there was nobody home to gather that one if it had stayed in play. And we'll have another line out on the far side, right on the 22. Hutchins, I think they've struggled a little bit in this area. They've gone short a couple of times and it worked the first time, but second time was spilled. They haven't looked overly confident in their ability to get the ball to the towering height of Sanderson in there, but looks like he's going to have a jump again this time. And they're going to go to the back. No, I better throw it. Very tolerant referee there on that one, very slow, and one in the end by Taroona with a tap down. Ball gets dished off to Connor, tackled solidly by Whitney coming in off the back of the line out. And Summerfield now runs through, great run from Summerfield. Got around the outside and tried to straighten up nicely. Now Brancher takes it, gets it across to Cosgrove, who steps back inside. That's Cosgrove of the Sam variety, and it's been lost at the breakdown, but hands by Hutchins in there caused that. And looking for the quick tap here. Brancher gives it to Savoury. They better get with him. Summerfield's close. Savoury takes it in and gets to ground eventually. And the ball comes to Dabari. He's had a good day so far, and yet another tackle bust from him. 2 tacklers left in his wake, and 2 more taken to get him to ground. And Archer now back in the blue colours has a solid hit up through the middle too. So Taroona now making metres off these punching running lines. Ball goes wide, Berry gets it out.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice hands. They were very flat outside there, and Leopard had 3 players, I think, outside him with a huge overlap. But they were too flat for him, and he ran back inside and wasn't able to get it out. So a bit of a mistake there, but just need to run a slightly deeper line out there. It was great hands by Berry to be able to get that ball quickly out to Leopard. And we'll see some more changes being made.
Come back to us now, one of them. Do we get one of our players back now, or are we having one of our players back now? Is your guy on? Okay, sure. Yeah, all good. Thank you. No drum. I was confused.
And the scrum to Hutchins. Dangdej with the feed. Interestingly, Bowman standing very, very flat here. The chase gets across, and it's a nice kick to clear his team well outside the 22. We'll be seeing half time, I think, pretty shortly. Did have that couple of pauses in play for a couple of injury checks. So the ball in the hands of Taroona now, with probably one last opportunity to put some points on. Longman coming into the line. No, Longman needs to get right out of there. Brancher telling him, no, you've got to be back 10. Just some confusion here amongst the players, knowing where they've got to go. Ball comes to Savoury, gets it to Brancher. Right, wide pass out to Cosgrove. Goes behind to Connor, who straightens up. He had big numbers outside him. Really needed to take a look to the left. And they'll come this way again. Cosgrove gets in there. Throws it to the other Cosgrove. Hangs onto it nicely. Archer's got a bit of space. Pushes it out to Leopard. Can he get through? Not through Bowman. And he's not held, though. So good, solid running. Support needs to get in there. They're pushing very close to the line now. Leopard dishes it back. And nice tackle coming through from Eddington on Brancher. But it's been regathered. And they need to clean out here. Good clean out there from Summerfield. And the penalty comes, not rolling out of there, Hutchins. And Taroona now pushing close. They'll look for their set play here. No, they go, oh, goes out to Byrne, who can't hold on to it. Just getting in the way, I think, Byrne. He's found himself in the wrong spot. Savoury doesn't want the quick tap here because he's got nobody with him. Hutchins get across quickly in numbers. And not sure what's going on there. I don't know what Savoury thought he was doing. Archer now, he'll like, oh, he goes the goose step and gets around. Taken down. Some nice tackling by Hutchins, going low on the big guys from Taroona. Ball goes wide now. Cosgrove dishes and feeds to Cosgrove. Can they get it out wide? Berry's out there now. The defence gets across, though. Again, the back line just too flat for Taroona. unable to get those balls back to their teammates. Comes around to Connor on the right out on the wing, but there's a lot of traffic there, and he can't get through it. This is where Taroona want to get Dabari in there with his hands on the ball, and some offside play. So Sanderson picking that one up at the breakdown illegally, and they go the quick tap. No, they don't. We're going to turn it over. So some frustration in there for Taroona. I'm not sure why the ball was turned over. If that is that half time? Looks like half time. Not sure why the scrum was given there. I'm not quite certain. Normally, if the tap's taken in the wrong place, you just get to tap it again in the right place. But anyway, Taroona a couple of good tries early, but I think some really solid defence from Hutchins throughout that whole half there to keep Taroona to only those 2 tries. And they've really done a great job of the breakdown to pilfer the ball a few times. Any key elements that you think for the second half for teams to look for, Mike?
I think we're going to go back, and Hutchins going to take, as you say, they're going to take a lot of pride from the fact that they've been tackling very, very hard. And if Taroona are going to try and consolidate themselves and get ahead a bit more, they've got to turn around and think a bit about some of the silly stuff they've been giving away. And I'm sure the coaching staff will be reiterating a lot of what's gone on, sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think Taroona will be satisfied with that half of rugby. And yeah, Hutchins, you know, if we think there was a potential try down there that was put down short, it could have been 7-14, and I think they'd even be pretty happy now with 14-0. But yeah, there's certainly some work to do for Taroona and Hutchins. I think if they can get the ball out wide, I'd like to see them try and push that ball a bit wide and not rely so much on Bowman wrapping and looking for him all the time. They may be able to put some points on the board. So yeah, we'll take a bit of a break now for the next couple of minutes, and we will be back soon. Right, so we've had a pretty entertaining first half. Low scoring. Taroona with a couple of tries, probably quite easily scored early in that half. They probably rue some missed opportunities, really, Taroona. They've had some good chances with the ball, but just a few mistakes here and there, and really not competing hard enough at the breakdown has allowed Hutchins to stay in the game. Hutchins had an opportunity to score a try, and it was put down short, so the score could be 14-7 or 14-5 at least pretty easily, but yeah, so it's been a very close match so far, and Hutchins have played very well in defence, particularly great run there from Jacob Archer off the kickoff, and that ball from Byrne knocked on that over the head catch. So another mistake there to Taroona. Brancher just firing that pass a little bit hard and a little bit high, and Fletcher Byrne just had to snatch at that one. So good option for Hutchins here. As I said, just at the end of the last half, I'd like to see them try and get the ball wide. The defence will focus on Bowman at fly half, and he's very good, but he needs to really link up with his outside backs, I think, to try and get them through. Find a bit of space out wide, and here we go. So Bowman takes it up. He gives the switch back inside to Fiedler, who's a big inside centre, and he has a great run up through the middle, but back into traffic. Nice pick and drive. He's going to find himself a bit isolated here, and the ball's been ripped out too. So need to roll out of there. Does Brancher, and Hutchins have managed to come away with that one. Ripped out, so not a knock on. And Hutchins with their tails up here, getting driving close. They need to, oh, they've been held up though. Some big bodies from Taroona in there. I'll tell you what, it's pretty hard to bust through them. Look at Featherstone, he's a large lad. And they've turned it over. So a good start to Hutchins, but unable to get through the big bodies of those Taroona forwards. And we'll have a scrum. Nice positive attacking start there to Hutchins. Good run from the big body of Jacob Fiedler. Just that line that he ran to get around the first tackle has put him right back into the busy traffic, though, of the Taroona forwards, and he wasn't going to get through there. Cosgrove now with the clearing kick and doesn't make touch. Taken out there by Gassett, and he dishes it off to Bowman. He'll like a bit of space out here. He's going to be hard to stop if he can get around the outside, but Taroona's defence covers nicely. They need to let him go, though, and they drive forward. Hutchins now, 20 out. Not sure which way to go. Dangdej goes to the right, and Tabari's offside there, but I think it was Sanderson saw him coming and looked up, and kind of lucky he didn't catch that, I reckon, because Saul was about to shatter Sanderson into about 1,000 pieces, and fortunately for Sanderson, I think he dropped that ball, but Tabari was offside anyway, so the penalty goes to Hutchins, and they go for the line, make 10 metres. I don't know, I'm not sure how happy I'd be if I looked up and saw Tabari bearing down on me in a situation like that.
I don't think they really enjoy it when Tabari's got the ball and runs at them either.
That's right. He's had a very good game so far.
He's excellent.
He's and he's a smart rugby player. And here he is again, just reading that play really nicely. His mind is always in the game, and that's a really, really important part of rugby, is to always be thinking about what you've got to be doing. So great work. And again, Saul wins that ball by driving Crean out over the line. And I'll give Pumba the throw in. We haven't seen him with the ball in his hands a lot today, Featherstone, either, and he's one who can create all sorts of nightmares for his opposition too, because he's a large lad. Throws not good though, and turned over. So Hutchins, more attack deep inside Taroona's 22. Pass from Dangdej, not so good, but gets to Bowman. They just hang on to him. Well done by Longman to grab hold of Bowman and not let him slip through, because he was almost away. And Hutchins now 5 metres out. Dangdej, he's going to look for Whitney, the Taroona reserve, coming in there, and they're very close to the line. Whitney's having a bit of a crawl, can't get close, and Fiedler goes over. So a great start to Hutchins, and Jacob Fiedler, he's been sniffing around that ball, trying to get his hands on it. He's had a couple of good runs already this half and some good defence, and he sees a way to the line and just puts his team one try closer. Great work there by Fiedler to get over the line. Again, Taroona just not quite expecting it. And some good attacking rugby by Hutchins. So really good safe play there, just not overcommitting and not trying to push any passes. And they'll be happy with that. First 5 minutes, Hutchins keeping Taroona way back down inside that defensive end. And Bowman's a good kick. We'll expect him to put this one over. And that's going to make a close game.
Yeah, they seem to have come out with that strategy of keeping it close and around the ruck and taking it either side of that ruck and having little snipes there, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's worked very well. Oh, and he's missed to the left, so Bowman can see him holding out. He can't believe it. He struck it really nicely, but I think he's just trying to overkick that one, I think, a little bit. He's only, quite close. Only about 25 metres away, 24 metres away. He just hit it a bit hard. All right, Taroona will come back with the kick. Brancher, he's running it back. He wants to take this kick. He knows Hutchins aren't back, and he just goes. They don't have to wait for the team to get back. And the chase is on, but it bounces just away from Cosgrove. So smart play again, knowing the laws, knowing how the game works. That was well done to Ollie Brancher to spot that. Hutchins need to just be a bit more aware. They still had a coach out on the field, I think, talking to them. So unlucky there with for Brancher, because he had players out there too, and Hutchins were really struggling to get across. Nice line out, goes to Sanderson, brings it down. They're just going to hold this up again though here. And do get it back though as it comes to ground. Dangdej pushes it out. And Hutchins drive it forward. Ball comes wide now to Bowman. He's going to boot it downfield, and it's a big kick. Gets over the head of Connor. Sits up high for him. It's a horrible bounce. And Connor gets away now from the first two. He's got a bit of space. He straightens up. Where's the support, though? They arrive. That's a good drive there from Cosgrove and Berry to get Bowman off that ball. And Taroona's breakdown work in those first couple of rucks there is really what they needed last half. Featherstone trying to get that foot free. Well done by the tackler on the floor there. And again, though, the third breakdown here, Taroona just not competing well enough there. So and having a scrum. Must have been I thought we had a penalty advantage there to Hutchins. Must have been a knock on at the breakdown, Mike. Not sure.
I'm not too sure. He blew it up as a penalty there, but they've elected for the scrum.
Yeah, right. Must have been the choice. Summerfield here just holding his shoulder and coming off.
I think the reason they're going for the scrum is about the only...
Yeah, I think Mike was just about to say, yeah, that the scrum's a good option for them because they're confident. Well, they know they're going to win it.
Yeah, and their position on the field, they wouldn't have. They would have only gained this lateral ground sort of thing with the kick.
And the ball comes to Bowman going one way and the other, and he just flops it back inside to Fiedler, who sadly loses it. He was looking for the offload, and Cade Leppard picks that one up and goes for a bit of a run. Good solid hit on him too from Whitney. And now they'll go to Featherstone. Here he goes. He's got some pace too when he gets free. And he's got a great offload. Brancher now goes really wide to Cosgrove, who's come into that first receiver position. He pushes it out wide. The two Cosgroves linking up. Jack Berry now slips his way through. And nice tackle again. Guess who? Charlie Bowman. But the pop comes up. And Taroona really flying forward here. They need to get this ball out wide. Hutchins haven't allowed their defence to spread. And Ed Nordstrom picks that one up, though. Nice driving run from him in the number 12, and he goes over. So exceptional play there from Taroona. Comes all the way back to a big run from Featherstone in the middle of the field.
Yeah, we missed that pop from Berry there. That was a beautiful pop when he went to ground. He looked, and you don't see enough of that in the rugby these days, is that look and pop sort of thing. It's a skill that I've noted has diminished quite a bit over the years.
Yeah, it's now you see it all the time in sevens rugby, you know, and in that situation, it was the right thing to do for Berry because he had some defenders around him and not a lot of support close, and the pop was really good. I'm not sure who took that ball off him actually, whoever was running that line, but it was a really good support line. And so after a really good start, Hutchins putting that first try on, Taroona have come back with their tails up and shown what they're capable of in that passage of play. Pretty hard to stop when they're running good support lines. And a nice kick by Brancher. 3 out of 3 so far. So back we come. Hutchins now, slow return, just walking their way back. Bit of a different attitude to what we saw from Taroona when they came back from Hutchins' try, where they all ran back and got up there very quickly. Bit disheartening, I think, that one for Hutchins. They thought they were possibly in this game. They still are, but they need to just lift their chins a little, I think. All right, ball goes long and straight down onto the chest of Brancher, and Nordstrom wants to have a run. And I'll tell you, they let him get some speed up, and he gets through 3 or 4 and takes it. They've got it to the halfway now, over the halfway, and Brancher's got the ball back. So good pairing from those guys. But the ruck has been penalised there for, I think, coming in at the side and just driving beyond the ruck. Bowman to Crean, back to Bowman, and that's a nice pass. Good work out there by Gassett to take that, but an equally good tackle. And Cosgrove comes in to put some pressure on, which is good at the breakdown too. Dangdej with a nice little spin back inside, but he's got to get to ground, and it's been stolen. And now the ball's with Nordstrom out wide. And Jacob Archer around the wing on the outside. Goes past the whole lot of them, pushes off Fiedler, and Whitney comes in to try and take him, but he can't. And Archer's run about 45 metres all the way around the outside of the Hutchins team, fended off quite a few and gets over. It's just this tackle coming in here from Fiedler there, went way too high. Really needed to get his feet in closer and his body height down low, and Archer fended him off, just swatted him away so easily.
What I liked there was Nordstrom's had some great runs with the ball and everything, and he picked a beautiful time to actually say, okay, I'm going to offload this, and Archer's made the most of that offload. You know, it was great by Nordstrom. You know, he's very, very strong, powerful runner, but he's turned around and selflessly, you know, passed it out, you know, and that's what we want to see, the ball going through the hands and let the tries happen.
Yeah, it's pretty easy, you're right, at this kind of stage of the game. I think they feel now, you can see that just the mood around them is that they're on top, and it's pretty easy when you're feeling on top to just decide to go yourself. And yeah, you're right, that was good. And, you know, Archer's run a nice long line there, but he scored with 2 teammates, you know, 5 metres or less away from him too. And the support play there from Taroona really good. You know, it's easy to stand back and go, oh yeah, let him score the try. But I think it was Brancher was really close to him as well, and he's always sniffing around doesn't you know, step back and say, oh, he's going to score. He's always got his mind in the game. Wide kick from here, right out near the 5-metre line. That's a really nice looking kick, but sprayed across the front. Got plenty of distance on that, but sprayed across the front. And Hutchins now still in a huddle behind the posts. Like to see them get back a little bit quicker this time, but still just walking. So 26-5 after Hutchins coming out firing in the first 5 minutes of this half and putting on a try. Taroona have scored 2 of their own all too easily when it comes down to it. But some really good team play.
What are you blokes actually doing? Commentator, is this broadcasting national, is it?
All right, ball goes down and over the back there, off the chest of Connor, and picked up by Berry. And he's had a good run and bumped off now. They're not going to get him if he gets around the outside here. He's pretty quick, but no, good defence, and he slows down. Nice tackle out there too by Bowman getting across. This guy never says die. And that one's deemed out and well picked up. And you watch, oh, that one's out too. And the knock-on comes with the pressure. And Taroona now, here he goes again, Jacob Archer. Oh, manages to keep his balance as well through a couple of would-be tacklers, and that one's turned over. So a little bit of messy work back there at the rucks, but the players just need to get on there. You can see this ball comes out. It was
almost foot tripped there.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, I think he did collect a shin. I don't think it was intentional, no. Yeah, you can see just the contact of the shin to shin. That player coming across, and I think whoever that was, a lot smaller than Jacob Archer, didn't really want to put their body on the line because he probably would have ended up hurt if he had thrown his head in front to try and make a tackle there. But Archer, you can see him there just coming back slowly. He's had 2 big runs down that sideline and he's spent. And you just see Nordstrom having a discussion out there with the referee, but might be just wondering about those breakdowns. I think that when the ball's deemed out, been a couple of close calls that have been allowed. Players have been allowed to come around, but went both ways that time. And Brancher have a kick from the same spot.
Oh, there he is. He's hiding behind the referee. I couldn't see him from our position.
Yeah. You just pick him up. That's right. Where we're sitting, you can't actually see Ollie Brancher through the referee. And he's that's a good kick too. He's just gone the same way. A little bit closer this time, but it's a great kick from out there. Great effort.
Yeah, no, he's had a top game today, his Brancher. His, his ball delivery, been pretty pinpoint, 90% of the time there, sort of thing. Yeah. And they're nice. They're not, they're nice direct passes when they go.
That's right. He actually is a student at Hutchins. He came across to play for Taroona this year. I think seeing it as a good pathway towards senior rugby for him, where he might have been able to. And I think he might have. I don't know if he actually played a game with the reserve grade competition. Sort of saw that as an opportunity to get some more experience playing at a higher level. Unlike his father, who plays for that team in red, coming out of Sandy Base. I mean, Archer juggles it and hangs on. I don't think he's going to try and run the whole way himself this time, though, and he's well tackled in the end. And Brancher still directing, looking for Dabari. And Saul busts through it. No, oh, again, guess who? Charlie Bowman, just such a class player. Just did enough there. And now Featherstone. So Hutchins tiring now and falling off tackles everywhere. And Taroona really got some wind in their sails. Savoury goes back to Cosgrove. Nice hands again. Cosgrove's just linking up together. And great work by Eddington to come in there and cause some trouble. And they get it to ground, though. Longman now wants a run, and he causes some trouble and breaks the tackle too. So Toby Longman having a nice hit up there, following along from his front row teammates. And Nordstrom bumps off with another tackler. Takes it to ground. Brancher with a flinging wide pass to Berry. Oh, that one's over the head. Archer just needs to get himself back in this game away from the wing, I think. I'm not sure if he's actually meant to be playing out there in the backs, but he's a bit puffed and not quite able to keep up. And he might even be playing at centre, is he? I'm not sure. But he's in back play, heaving his breaths in out there. And lucky for Hutchins there, that ball didn't hit the mark. Good line-out win there to Hutchins. Bowman throws it wide and finds Leopard. And now comes around. Good tackle from Whitney, who's changed back to his blue jersey. And Bowman, he knows no one's home, and he has a boot downfield, although Jack Connor is back there. And he gets it. Goes over his head, but his secure hands get back. Now, Crean, can this ball sit for him? It does. I'd like to see him get a head of steam up here. No, nice work to look for the pass there. Bowman, though, trying to do something a bit tricky. Needed to pull something out of the hat there to try and get his team back in this game and on the scoreboard, but it's gone forward.
It would have been nice to see Crean back himself then, and he's not the smallest lad on the field, and to see him use a bit of his bulk there and run it back up through.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think, sometimes it's easy to be drawn into passing the ball off. Bowman's going to be the experienced guy out there and the one most likely probably to create something. And I think, a little bit of a case of, I'll give it to him because, he's the man. But, and in that respect too, it was actually a good draw and pass from Crean. However, yeah, I'm with you. I'd like to have seen him hit it up himself and try and take out that first tackler. And Cosgrove now having a run. Taroona just need to be careful here not to try and take too many liberties in a way, and with solo runs from players going themselves. Great work from Longman to gather that one.
Oh, good clean out there.
Yeah, good clean out, definitely. That's Jack Bremner getting in there and just making sure of the ball security for his team. Ball comes out to Berry. Nice pass, great step off the right foot, and nice hands there. Whitney, has he got the pace? He can't get outside Dangdej, and he makes a really good tackle in there, the number 9. He's had a great game today. Bremner now coming in and going to the breakdown. Nice defensive work in the end out there from Dangdej, because Whitney could have been away, and just a juggled ball there. I think Summerfield on the ground. No, was it Cosgrove? Tried to pop that ball up to Dabari, but ricochets off the chest.
It was a great passage of play from Taroona there. Went through several hands. Backup was superb. It was just a shame it got blown up down here.
That's right. The right foot step from Cosgrove as he caught the ball to get inside the tackler was just amazing agility.
And then he flicks pass.
He flicks a perfect pass to Whitney, who's only 20 centimetres away from the sideline. And he did the right thing, Whitney, actually. He could have tried to get around the outside, but he stepped back inside knowing how close he was. And it was only really some good footwork by the halfback, Dangdej, for Hutchins to get there and actually stop Whitney from getting through. There's Jacob Archer's out there playing on the wing. And, here we go. Can't make the tackle. Jack Connor can, though. What a bounce. And somehow Jacob Archer's managed to steal that one. He needs to get it back. They've gone off their feet, though, Hutchins at the breakdown. And now Cosgrove says, I'm not liking this pressure, and he boots it down. That's going to stay in. There's no one from Taroona chasing, though. And Smart gets back. Yeah, good counter-attack option there from Smart. Leopard gets in there. He's got Crean with him. Can't get it to him, though. And good work at the breakdown by Taroona to disrupt there. And it's somehow come back Taroona's way as well. So getting a bit scrappy. Hutchins really now tiring and hard to get back there. Dabari's close. He'll sniff the line out here. And he finds it. When you need a try, you know who to call. you better call Saul. Or the Saul train, as they prefer to call him down there. But Dabari here, he's close to the line, and he takes, what, 3 with him. It was actually not a bad. I think Smart got absolutely run over the top of by Dabari, but it was a good effort of him to try and get in front of him and stop. He's had a couple of good phases of play, has Smart. That ball off that kick from Bowman that went downfield that just bounced into his arms, and he got past Archer, but it was a good save from Jack Connor in the end on that phase. And Smart getting back there and just trying to make something out of that, knowing, you know, they're behind on the scoreboard and there's not a lot of time left in the match. You know, you got to try and run it out of there and do something for your team. So great work, Alex Smart. And we'll give Ollie Brancher. Look how flat he's got that ball in this one. He's almost lying horizontally on the ground, the ball. And the ball only goes just a metre above the bar from a kick like that too. It's the kind of kick you do when it's really windy and there's practically not a tiny bit of breeze out here, Mike.
I know, there's hardly a breeze at all. But I guess practice in every condition sort of thing. And
that's right. And if that's his style, that's his style. And I certainly can't be critical of it because he's an excellent kick.
It's working, isn't it? It's working.
He's a good kick. Yeah, and he puts a lot of time into it too. All right, Hutchins now coming back. They've starting to struggle now. It's those first up tackles that they need to make. And when you've got these big Taroona bodies running at you and you allow them some full speed by not chasing up and getting in their face, that's when they become hard to make. So a little bit of invigoration is what Hutchins need. They need to chase this ball up and not give Taroona the space to run it back at them at speed. And that one goes deepish, finds Bremner. I remember seeing Bremner. Oh, here he goes. He's a tough guy, and he's looking for the pass, and there's no one there. And he runs through Smart, who eventually gets him. We're coming all the way back. Oh, Bremner's been penalised for the
fend.
For the fend with the I guess the ball tucked under his arm and the elbow coming out. He's a bit confused, but I was about to say, I remember seeing him in his first game of rugby back in under 14s, and he just did exactly that. He's just, the kids couldn't tackle him. And he's got a very, very solid build on him. And that was good to see him go for a run. But yeah, just the technique there on the fend with that elbow coming up a little bit. Certainly there was no malice involved. I think he just tried to do a bit of a bump off, and
it was more. Yeah. He was trying to do the bump off with the forearm as opposed to the elbow sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's all in the presentation too, and the interpretation by the man in the centre.
Absolutely.
And he was a lot closer than us.
That's right. I had no idea. And they've gone the short one again there, and it hasn't paid off. Something that they've tried a few times, going with that ball to Crean at the front, and I think he's lost it again that time. And under pressure from Dabari, he's going to love that situation. So when the ball's being thrown softly to the player who's just standing opposite you, so Taroona have opted for the scrum. I'm not sure if I don't know if we'll see them kick from here or not. We've got Jack Berry coming into fly half now, so a bit of a change in their positions. It's nice to see him back out there. He's had a lot of time off rugby after, I think, some concussion problems earlier in the year in some representative game. And here he comes, just watching him run with the ball. He's a very wise player. He's tried to flick that one when he didn't need to. And Bowman gets around the outside. Nice tackle by Whitney. He's had a really excellent game, has Noah. And Leopard now with the ball. We're coming back here. Bit of a injury. I think that's Charlie Bowman who's down there.
He's got his knees up to his chest. So,
and looks like I've called the end of the game. No, just a bit of a break. Looked like the players looked like they were about to say it was like, no. Yes, no. Everyone's walking onto the field, Mike.
I'm not too sure. Where are we at time-wise? So
Well, the last half went all the way through to 35 minutes. This one, I think it's it is a 30-minute half.
Yeah, so
and yeah, the players are shaking hands. So
probably called it because there's not much to be
not much to be had, and we've got an injury
to be gained from.
Yeah, well, some really exciting rugby. I have to commend Hutchins on their defence, particularly through that first half when they didn't let Taroona get away. But as they tired in this second half, it became a little bit tough for them to stem the tide, and it ended up being a bit of a blowout. But I would say the game, the scoreboard probably doesn't show how close that game really was. Any highlights for you?
Oh, I'm just impressed with Hutchins. Didn't give up their defence. They stuck there and they tried to defend, but Taroona regrouped themselves from the first half, and the ball stuck a lot more this time round. A lot of the stuff they were trying to do in the first half paid off for the second half. Yeah,
that's right. And they're a well-drilled team, and it's going to be always hard, to stick with them for 80 or the 60 minutes of the game. And look, yeah, commendations to Hutchins, because they really did stick with them for probably 45 or 50 minutes, I'd say. But yeah, great game of rugby, some excellent play, and it's great to see that our juniors at this level are able to, put on some really good rugby for us, and enjoyable to see. So well done to Taroona, coming out 38-5 victors. Thanks to Mike for your time in the commentary, and we will take a break, and we'll be back in 45 minutes with the elimination final from our senior grade rugby between Taroona and Burnie. The loser, that'll be the end of the season for them, and the winner will go through to the next round to play against the loser of the Launceston versus Devonport game that's also being played today. But thanks for watching, and we'll be back in a little while with that match. See ya.